Okay.
Hello everyone,
I need
my
to
name is Crystal and
send.
welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then hit that subscribe button because we're friends, we just haven't met yet. Hello
Confident.
everybody. Um, Tonight we have a very special guest with us, Whitney.
Oh,
She is the admin and you could say founder of Elena's Army. Would you like to introduce yourself, Whitney?
yeah. My name's Whitney. I'm from Tennessee. I stumbled across this case because because it's literally 15 minutes down the road from me, and the people that I got in it with, they have been a tremendous help, and we've all been trying our hardest, regardless of things thrown our way.
Well, I have to say I'm real impressed with everything you've been doing for this baby. I personally want to thank you. Um, I think you've been a excellent voice, you and the group have, for Elena, and
Well,
I
thank
really
you.
appreciate you coming on this channel and talking a little bit about the case with us. Um, Before we get started, how is the audio, everybody? Because I want to make sure you hear us. Put a one in chat if the audio is okay. Because now I've got that boony Wi-Fi, Whitney, back in the mountain Wi-Fi. And every now and then it likes to act a mess.
I have Vive, and it's awful too. It's plumb
Flies on
awful.
the coleslaw says we're loud and clear.
Where do you see this at? Because I don't see anything.
Okay. If you look to the side, you're through StreamYards, ain't you?
What?
The link I gave you says StreamYards. On the
Yeah.
side, you should see the word chat. If you hit,
Oh, I found
it'll
it.
bring up the chat.
Oh, connect to
And
YouTube account to join the live chat. Um, I don't. I'm not gonna hit that.
I always normally just pull it up on my phone because normally this chat is a little bit behind the other one anyway. Um, Hello, Flies. Hello, Porter. Hello, Dana. You all, thank you for being here. This case, I'll start out with how it has been for me. As most of you know, sometimes we can see these cases about missing kids or somebody that's been harmed, and it affects us, but it's almost like it don't really hit home until it's in your back door. Or I know that's how this was for me. And it
Yep.
seemed like every time a little bit would come out, I would think, well, how is that possible? How is this possible? Um,
Hey, I hate to interrupt you, but I have another admin that is wanting in case you want
okay,
her view as well.
okay. Does she want to have her last name on there?
Um, Probably.
Let me ask.
But anyway, I'm so sorry. Continue. She just messaged
Oh,
me and let me know.
you're fine. I'll message her. me see here. I'm trying to get to my back check. Do you got to access? I don't want to put her up here with her last name if she cares for it being showed, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to swap up. Hey Eddie, I'm gonna try to swap up and see, and hopefully it doesn't kick me out. If it does,
I'll
I'll come
ask
right
her
back
in the
in.
back chat.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
just a second, I'm typing in the back chat. Not all caps, Crystal. This has been a day,
Okay.
you all.
No, listen, I have worked 7 days straight. Tomorrow's gonna be 8, and Friday's gonna be 9, and I only have 1 day off, so this is great. The
Okay.
the PlayStation remote's dead, is why
I don't
I
want her
can't.
to think that I ain't adding her, though.
It keeps. Oh, okay. Flies on coleslaw. I will say yes. I'm glad that you have put that our TikTok on
I
there.
fixed it. Okay.
Oh wait, I see chat too.
There she is.
Hi, good evening.
Elizabeth.
Now, the mods are going to
Hey,
be.
can I get in? This is Harvey.
What's that?
Do what?
Oh, look at the comments.
Hey, you want to tell your side of the story? I'll drop you a link.
Oh my God.
Sure, if
This is
if we can prove that that's who they say they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's got to be proof.
you'll have an option to show your face in the back chat.
Oh, not that Harvey. Jesus. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think you just got everybody's blood pressure up.
I was gonna say, yeah, sure, I'll drop you a link, but
Oh, Elizabeth, are you okay?
okay,
Yeah,
for most of
yeah.
you that
I
don't know
just was.
about this
I was just waiting to see what was happening next.
case, yeah, I was like, oh, well, this is starting off interesting, but
Of all times for him to pop in.
Lord.
Whitney, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about this case because there's probably some people watching or that will watch on the replay,
Well,
and
so go ahead.
some of them may not know anything about the case. I know the last time I did a stream, a lot of people hadn't heard about Elena, and that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
If you don't care to just give a brief overview of it without giving anything real graphic right now,
Okay. Yeah, and then I will pass it to Liz. She's also very, very phenomenal with words.
and thank you,
So
Liz, for being with us.
Oh, thank you for
she's
having
great.
me.
She is. She's great, and so are you. You're amazing.
Thank you.
So she was in the hands of Harvey at his place, which is not even a block away from ARH, which is the hospital in Millsboro, Kentucky. It's not a big hospital. It's probably the size of a high school. I'm not even joking. But Erica, the sperm or egg donor, was forced to take her to the hospital. She didn't want to take her to the hospital. She was unconscious and unresponsive for 45 minutes when she got to the hospital. They tried to stabilize her, but she unfortunately passed. And they got her restabilized at UT. And that's when they pronounced her brain dead. Later that night, Erica, when I say she got interviewed, questioned, and was booked. No one else has been arrested in her case, not yet. Anyway, there is several proof that it's people that have been named. I'm not going to name drop unless you all think I should. If you think I should or should not, I don't know.
We can do initials, but without, I don't want to name drop without without charges
Um,
being.
I can't really. Okay, so you can't
What are you
really,
trying to say, Whitney?
huh?
What were you trying to say there?
You know, I really just lost train of thought. Um,
Okay.
what was
Um,
Liz take over because
So,
I'm
so are
so
you
tired.
wanting
I'm
a
losing it.
high level recap of
now
the
her
case?
mom,
Oh, her
Is it,
mom. Yep.
yeah,
So her mom
her,
was booked into Bell County Detention Center for the day. Then she was transported to Clay County and moved for we don't know why she was moved from Clay County to Leslie, but um there's three that's arrested that are at Leslie County that have been on the suspect list, and that's JC, SS, and JB or
DB?
DB.
DB senior, I would say,
Yep.
because there's two.
And then the other two suspects are HG and I can't even do that with JD. Yeah, JD. I'll just say
oh,
that.
that's
You
fine.
can't
That's
really initial
fine.
his name. Um,
Um,
Elizabeth, I'll let you do the
ne-
details. What
okay.
suspect list?
So I think that a lot of the information that we have about potential suspects came from a lot of people within the community that had information that they shared, lived in the area, that saw things, information that may have been stated by the Elena's father, through online in various places where he may have, been dropping information. But that's how we sort of had this suspect. I think the one suspect that was mentioned with the initials, of DB, it was actually a son of his who came on Facebook and was broadcasting, their parent as being in the potential suspect pool. Unfortunately, it's so hard to say, a lot about this because obviously DNA is not out. Now we do know that some people that were named were picked up on outstanding warrants.
Yep.
For whatever reason, they had been left in the community for a very long time without being picked up for those warrants. So, I wouldn't like to second guess law enforcement, but a theory a lot of people have said is, oh, maybe they wanted to make sure they pick them up. But we have that pool of people and a lot of strong feelings, in the community regarding what has happened to her and why DNA is taking so long and why, there's a concern that these perpetrators are still
Hello.
in the area.
Can you hear us, Whitney?
I wonder if she's having a connection problem. Are you having a connection problem with? You may have to
It's not
rejoin.
letting me.
Oh, there you go.
It's not letting me in there. Tell them I'm trying to.
You're in here.
Oh,
You're in here, honey.
okay.
We hear you.
Okay. I don't know what just happened.
You're in here. You, I know where I live. I mean, connection drops, and sometimes I have to go out and come back in. But yeah, it's boony Wi-Fi. You're just gonna have to
Even
bear with
Eddie
us
said,
tonight.
Yes.
Um, Now, for those of you that may
I
just
just
be coming
missed
in,
whatever just happened.
Elena Hembry was 17 months old. She was beat
Severe.
hard. She was flown to. She was first took after, from what I can tell, being made to take her to the hospital, but
Yeah.
she was took to Middlesboro ARH on July the 28th, and she was flown to Tennessee Children's Hospital, where she was pronounced brain dead. And on the 30th, she succumbed to her injury. And
Yes.
this
And
child was 17 months old. I mean, let me reiterate that. Everybody that's in this community that has watched the Summer Wells case,
oh god,
everything
that was close
that
too.
has been accused of could have happened to her looks like it has happened to this baby. So if we need to get up in arms, then so be it, because there is proof there. This child was abused. She was hard.
I have
Oh, we have a question from somebody there in the chat. From Chill God Beats, and they're asking, are the people tied together through the same drug house and were arrested on drug charges?
yes and
Yeah, yes and no, right?
yes and no, because oh man, what's her last name? AW. Yep. So AW held the trap / drug house, and she allowed you know uh Erica to go in and out. I'm not using her initials. She deserves her name right out there. She allowed Erica
And
in and out.
and like the dad's and the mom's name, I'm not going to initial that. It is out there, people. It's everywhere. The name,
Yes, like
I won't put a last name to it, but the name Harvey is out there. JD is out there.
yep.
All you have to do is look up her name, and these people themselves have put themselves on social media commenting. Am I
Yeah.
wrong, ladies?
No. One of them very vocally and was taking videotape and sharing it with everybody inside of the police department to try to prove they went to the police. So you're 100% right that they have put their names. Those people have put their names out there and in the forum themselves.
And for
So
some
the
people
answer
that
to
don't
Marie's
know,
question.
for some people that don't know, with the last live that went AWOL,
I don't
and
remember that one.
that may not even be the word for it. I normally don't cuss and stuff like that, so I'm trying to come up with a good name for it. But it went off the rockers.
Bunker.
In the chat area, somebody thought that they was going to be anonymous,
Oh,
but they wasn't too good at it, because it told me who you was. So if you're going to comment leave comments kind of trying to threaten me, you picked the wrong one, because
hey,
I'll be a voice for this kid and you can sit back and watch it, because what happened to this baby is unspeakable. Anybody that has a soul should be standing up for this child.
Absolutely.
And it's JD's mom.
oh, yeah. She left a TikTok. She left a message on my TikTok saying she was gonna take me to court for slander, and I
Yeah, that
literally,
was what was left on mine. But
I
ain't
believe
slandering
she's
nobody.
made some challenges to people of I would say violent nature about things. I wasn't really surprised hearing that from you ladies.
Matter of fact,
there
I
was,
will make my point right now, and I will drop the link in the chat. If there's anybody that we mentioned, if you got something to defend, come on up and talk to us. We would love to have you. Because what we haven't got, there's DNA in this. And unfortunately, unlike most cases that we see, the DNA is really what this case is hinging on. Am I correct?
Yes.
It seems
That's
so.
the only holdup.
It seems to be the real linchpin here is where the DNA is at. And so we hear a lot of comments from people, well, I can't believe DNA is taking so long, and what is going on. The issue is that every state in the U.S. has a certain amount of crime labs they're contracted with to provide that forensic DNA. And, I took a look at Kentucky, and it's broken down by region. But the ironic part about it being broken down by region is that the central lab, which is located in Frankfurt, is the only one that can process any DNA evidence. And that's just not a suspect coming in with a mouth swab, let's say. Let's say that if they took things from under, a victim's nails or other places or clothing and things like that. So there's just one lab to process all of those different types of DNA for the entire state of Kentucky. And obviously everybody that's a prosecutor, they all want their cases done. And it's just created an out of control backlog. And I think that 3-week time frame that they initially gave was very inaccurate, and that's put a lot of hurt on people's heart because they were anxiously awaiting something, because they're concerned and they're heartbroken, and they want to know what's happening in their community, and they do have a right to know. I mean, people with children the same age may be feeling uncomfortable.
Yes, and it's taken a mental toll on a lot of people.
Okay, and this is something that bothers me. So far as being arrested for this crime, the mom is the only one that has been arrested. Now, before people start coming at me, I think she needs buried under that jail. I can't speak for the other people on the panel. I'm speaking for Crystal. You protect your baby. She failed her.
She did fail her.
This picture right here, it bothers me. If you can look, see, what do you think that is, y'all?
What picture? I don't
Somebody
see
moving, right?
Oh, I know the photo she's talking about.
Oh,
yeah, I'm showing it on the screen.
Wait, what screen?
It's behind the chat, Whitney. I believe that the gentleman that was moving out of, or being, we had heard, I'll say heard,
I see it now.
being evicted from their location today.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, yeah. So apparently he may be up. Maybe I shouldn't say. Well, okay, forget it. He may be in Virginia, but from my understanding, from what I've seen on TV, which is probably completely false, but if you're suspected of this horrible crime, don't they tell you not to leave the state?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, usually they do.
One thing that bothers me with that picture is I happen to know that not too far away from all this that happened in Middlesboro, Kentucky, there is a spot that you can stand, and you will be in Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee all at the same time. So please understand that where this crime occurred at, it is bordering 2 other states. In less than 10 minutes, you can be in either.
Yeah. That makes it interesting because for people
Absolutely.
He could very well say, well, I have to unfortunately not be in Kentucky because my employer is in, Virginia or Tennessee. It adds a uniqueness to this case, with the fact that within that 10-15 minutes, you can very easily get to another state.
Yeah, all these back roads here in Tennessee, and all the back roads in Tennessee lead to Virginia. You can hit a red light and go left, and it's what, 45 minutes, 40 minutes, if that, and you're in Virginia.
Or you can just go
Right at
through
the
that
border.
tunnel there at Middlesboro and
Yep.
take you a right
Yep.
and you're in Virginia, or just keep going straight past the sign and you're in Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah.
10 minutes you're in either state.
Yeah. So I think that, adds a level of uniqueness to this case. And I know that we've seen a lot of people, asking, one of the questions was, well, why wasn't this handled, in the state of Tennessee? Because that's where she passed away. But, the crime was believed to have occurred in Kentucky. So that's obviously why it was assigned here and in Kentucky, and Middlesboro, police is taking that case and, investigating it. We've had other people that have said, well, why can't, they get the FBI involved? And, it's one of those things where it seems as though the FBI has to be asked in, and for whatever reason that we haven't seen a statement on, they haven't been asked.
And
And I
Kim
will
has a
put
very
this
good
out here.
point. Kim has a very good point. So they're free to
So they're free to-
go harm another child. Wow. Well, Kim, let me blow your mind with that just a little bit more.
Uh-oh.
One of these suspects, he's expecting a child. Just give
Yes.
me time.
And let's not, I don't know if Chrisland is or not, but he has prior oh God, I
If
can't
he's got
use the word.
charges,
He had
go ahead and tell it.
he
That's
had a
correct.
prior charge that did not make it to trial for an alleged sex crime.
Of an animal, correct?
There was a rumor of that, but this was for a female lady.
Oh,
It was with
A female lady. Somebody did have that rumor going about the other incident, but yeah, and now allegedly what we had heard was that the victim had been harassed / intimidated by the offender, and she just did not pursue the case, forward, and just wanted to be left alone. So there was that in that one particular person's background.
there is something that I'm wanting to show people. Just a second. I'm going to mute out. My kids are coming in. You will learn that on this channel, when minors come in to speak to me, I will mute out. I'll come right back to you and may have to pause and grab a baby every now and then, but we will get this covered. Just a second.
Kim.
So let me see,
Yes, we do.
Kim's question: do you believe the mother knows who were all involved?
Yes.
I think there's two schools of thought, right? One is that yes, she absolutely does. The other school of thought that seems to be floating around is that maybe she does not know, because it could be that she was unconscious on substances and not not properly supervising her baby when she should have. I don't know, which one is right. That's sort of to Diane's point, maybe why She hasn't named them. Maybe she can't. Maybe she woke up and found the situation, or there's somebody that she's protecting because there's a bigger threat that we are not aware of
Me,
that they're.
me personally, I think she just doesn't want to speak. It is a murder charge, correct?
Yeah,
And
Yes,
she's facing the
death
the
penalty.
death penalty. So that right there, that should scare her enough to be like, you know what, maybe I need to open my mouth. But
maybe
she won't
she's
say anything.
maybe she's holding on those cards to try to broker some type of a plea situation at some point down the line.
She
And
can't plead insanity, can she?
I don't know if a judge would accept it without a long and complicated history. I would think. Um, and I guess to Porter's question there, we really don't know. There could be more because we don't know who the offenders are right now. Are they the people from that potential alleged pool, or are they people that we've never heard brought forward? My understanding is that there were lots of people coming and going from the location. There could have been someone in there for whatever reason that isn't even amongst the people that we've heard named.
yes, Annabelle, it is very heartbreaking. You all, the mods are dropping links to a petition that has been started for harsher crimes against child abuse. Um, if you all have not, if you've not seen the petition, right here it is. Please consider going and signing that, because I think when I looked last night, a Class C of child abuse in the state of Kentucky is like 5 years.
Five.
That is that is not nearly long enough for child abuse. A slap on the
5 years.
wrist is why people do it again. 5 years.
And the couple of questions that you have there around the DNA. So initially, immediately after the crime occurred, before there was a lot of statements made, there was information swirling around on the internet where several suspects were named, and later, I believe it was when Lisa Fugate had that conference with the Middlesbrough Police Department. She stated that they had DNA sample from 6 individuals, and that sort of counted amongst the suspects that were sort of mentioned. So I don't think that they ever confirmed that they found those six types of DNA on the poor sweet baby. They've never been able to say that to us yet because DNA is still out, but they did say that they collected from 6 individuals. Um, and Diane, I don't know if anyone else knows, Crystal or Whitney, but as far as the family asking to have the state police involved, I haven't heard them call for that. I would say that Erica's family, from what we have seen, they've been sort of keeping a very low profile. I think that I can't imagine how it is to know as a grandparent or an uncle that your daughter or sister was that negligent, and I'm sure there's some reluctance to be affiliated. with her, and they also have to think that they also have another child. Her mother does in her home. That is Erica's older daughter. So I think they're also trying not to provoke people, maybe to show up over there or bother them or harass them.
And I will say, going real life, people don't try to find out who this kid is. Okay, that's ridiculous. But so I can understand that. I will say that protecting the kids, I'm all about that. Now, one thing that I've been asked, and I know what I've been told, why was what did the biological dad say when this first happened? Didn't he claim that he knew nothing about any
He
drugs or anything happened, that she
he
was being
claimed
mistreated?
he had claimed that he had not been around her, that Erica had kept her from him for I don't know how many months. So he claimed his innocence, saying that he didn't know or anything. He changed his story to blaming JD, having seen the evidence on a pair of clothing that, was fresh. And that was apparently taken to the police station. And then he changed, this is the biological father, he had changed it the last time to that he didn't believe that Elena was in her condition,
Yes.
even though the doctors and EMTs and everyone confirmed it. He said
And
he
that
did not believe it.
I think that's
that
been very difficult because of his back and forth statements.
and I'm going to share something because this takes us right into this. And it was put on social media like this, people. So this is a message to between Trey and Erica. If you look right here, she says, Trey, I haven't been anywhere, and that's the only place I was. She speaks one of the alleged suspect's name, Ard, our baby. And
Yes.
then he calls at 9:41. Then at 10:02, he's carried a conversation with her again. So, do we have any idea when this took place? These
No.
conversations?
Well,
And
we don't, but he, I believe, gave a statement that his telephone does not have what do you call it? It's only Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi only. And so because
I'm
of this,
sorry.
he does not get his information timely, and he maybe and saw that after they were at the hospital when it came up. But we don't really know when he got a hold of that and saw that. And I think if you go back to the situation with the suspects, with the with the initial, what we first heard was the suspect taped a conversation and released 8 minutes of it all on the internet, where he had a conversation with Trey, and had Trey on there inviting him to come to a memorial for his child, and saying that I believe you. I'm going to try to clear this up. I'm going to try to stop having people think that you did this act. And then we forward a few days later, he accuses this person and one of their friends of coming to his door and trying to lure him out for a fight. And he did not leave the premises. And then right after that is when he now accused that person of having some clothing on them that was thrown out that had blood on it. And we were told it was taken to law enforcement.
I hope it was. I hope. I mean, I
We
truly
hope,
hope.
right?
Yeah.
We hope.
Because if that didn't get taken to law enforcement, it's. I don't want to think about it.
And then the story changed where he came out shortly after that and said, "Well, I don't actually know if my child was uh, SA'd,
Yeah. I
you
heard
know,
that.
and will the police have? Was it the police haven't confirmed it? Was that something? Was that the end of his comment? Something along those lines?
Okay. I'm going to show that conversation.
Do
Give
you
me
have it?
just a
Okay,
second.
good.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no idea what you just said, Liz. I'm sorry. Like I said, my brain is a big fog right now.
Okay,
I'm
this is what
listening.
he posts. It says, announcement. I want everyone to understand that nobody is guilty. Now, the biological dad is posting this. That nobody is guilty other than Erica as of right now for just sitting and letting Elena pass away and doing nothing to stop it. I'm just guessing with this here a little, but while our daughter was in Erica's hands, and I'm sorry that I'm reading like this, I'm just making sure I did redact what, for just a small amount of time, say for about a month, I'd assumed Erica started to neglect for some reason that I do not know because Elena was such a happy baby, and things probably got worse from July the 2nd to around July the 30th. It almost likely progressed. I don't know. But while Erica had her and also did not speak or do anything to save her while in her mother's care, nobody is actually guilty other than her. I disagree. I think anybody that was there that knew something that they were doing something, this baby is as guilty as anybody else. Sorry,
If
that's my
if
opinion.
they changed her diaper, if they changed her diaper, gave her a bath, they saw it. They
Yeah.
knew.
Yes.
Also, Crystal, we've not been able to tell you this. Liz, you think we should say what we were told on the phone the other night, as long as we don't mention the name?
Before you disclose any of those things, let me just preface it this way. We received a telephone call, and just when something like this happens, one of us also tries to be sure we're on the line to hear what is being said. And the person that called was very distressed. They were very upset. And they were very close to Elena in her short little life, and really frustrated about a lot of things. And through that feeling, they gave us a lot of information that obviously we have not been able to independently backtrack and verify. So I would say we were told this, and it seemed to be forthcoming from a person that was grieving, but I would not, I would not say some of it, they could have not said things also out of hurt, just to be fair. So I think you're fine to say that, Whitney, but I just want to make sure that we say that a little bit beforehand, because a lot of this stuff was far enough in the past that there would be no way to 150% triple check it, if that makes sense. But yeah, go ahead, Whitney. I think you're fine to say it as long as we put that caveat out there.
Okay. And to answer Eddie's question, yes, Eddie, it was done more than once, multiple occasions. So I received a phone call, and Liz was on the phone, as was another admin. The lady I spoke to had Elena for 10 months. During those 10 months, Trey and Erica lived with her. Trey worked at one of the ham factories down
I
here.
think you said OSI.
QSI, Q something.
Yeah, Q is something like that.
And they clean the machinery. And he did not provide for Elena. He would blackmail Erica. So anytime she'd ask for diapers, milk, wipe, or not her, but anytime the other guardian would ask, try to pick up milk or anything for Elena, it was always blackmail against Erica. And then there was one occurrence, he was playing his PS5 and he had put Elena in front of a TV watching Elmo. He was not paying any attention to her at all. None. And the person pointed it out. Hey, you have a child. Pay attention to your child. And his exact words, per her, was if he wanted another child, he would have one.
Yeah,
And
she stated that there was no financial support for little Elena outside of the things that that she did, this lady, and that even though he worked, even though he picked up his tax return, he wasn't contributing to her holidays, Christmas and Easter, her birthdays, a smash cake, just that she seemed that to feel that as though he had his mind on other things than parenting is I guess what I would say. And I think she also said Whitney that she had never saw any bad behavior like
no.
from Erica towards the baby in her presence. And I think she also mentioned that she seemed like she didn't carry Erica did not carry Elena from place to place to place while she stayed within her home. If she wanted to not be there and go out, the baby generally stayed behind with her in those occasions.
Where to stay with care with.
There is a picture on the screen. This is
I can't see
the mom
Oh
and the biological dad.
Mm-hmm.
no, Eddie, she was not
And
a diabetic.
look, well, now listen, I am a diabetic, and that ain't the needle I use anymore.
No.
No.
I mean, I'm sure there's more than one, but now
It looks like an eyeshadow brush to me. What?
an eyeshadow brush.
No, I think I think if it was an eyeshadow brush, then Dad
Why
wouldn't
would
have redacted it out of his photo
Yeah.
copy that he had before the original was found with the syringe in it.
Why
Yeah.
would he
And I
mark
think
out a? Why would he mark out a hairbrush? Or oh my god, a hairbrush. See, my brain is gone. Why would he mark
and
out a
keep
makeup
in mind
brush?
there is a lot of people that are in the chat that probably don't know nothing about this case, so they're guessing at what they're seeing. It might
Oh,
look like
yeah.
eyeshadow brush to them, but the context behind this photo is after this, he tried to black out that needle, but distinctly remember him saying or hearing that he said he didn't know that she was being abused or around drugs.
BS. That's
So
also
Mm.
another
that
thing
to me,
that
that
was brought up.
photo right there just proves that
That baby was all around it.
he all around it, all around it. Um,
Which brings up another. It's not. It wasn't Elena who found this item. Um, it was her first child, Heaven.
no, don't give her
Mm.
name.
Oh, frig. Um, it was her first child, and the there was a bag of substance lying around, and the child got into it. Yep.
He
And
and
you know, Eddie, I hate to think that, but I think there's a pretty good, you know, chance that with mom suffering from addiction, and it seems as though dad has had their struggles as well, that Elena probably saw more than a little baby should see.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I promise
there was a
you, if I was
GoFundMe made, wasn't there?
yes, and so here's another fun fact. So
Here's another
Trey,
controversy.
yep, Trey put up was it his Cash App? Yes, it was his Cash App.
So it looked as though the night she passed, her dad had put a GoFundMe up for expenses. And those expenses were later covered, donated, and it wasn't needed. Then there was if you go out on GoFundMe, then there was a second GoFundMe created by someone whom I don't know their relationship to um the families, and they collected a few $100s on that. And then after those two instances, we'll come up to what I think what Whitney's referencing here
Wait, what?
with the cash apps. So
Oh,
there were the
oh, oh. Jesus. Okay. So the Cash Apps, he had asked for money for donations for his daughter, anything to help, blah, blah, blah. He took the money that he was Cash Apped and took a trip to Florida with his underage girlfriend. It wasn't even a week after her death, was it?
well, he let's preface that with first he said he was traveling for business. Um, and
Business.
someone who worked there said that his job doesn't require business travel.
Yeah, no.
Um, and then um, there was a trip to Florida. There was someone that went along with, and a young high school girl,
Yep.
that was rumored to be a newer significant other. And I know that I have directly heard from a person that was obviously wanted to help after the tragedy occurred, and gave not to a GoFundMe or not to anything else, $100 to go towards to him, and never received acknowledgement or a thank you or anything for that. And then we've heard several different rumors of what money was used for. The trip to Florida that we actually know happened. We had someone else who said they saw him purchasing a television. Now we can't confirm that. We weren't there to see
We
a
weren't
purchase
there
of
for
a
that.
TV. But
I don't see.
there-
I'm sorry, but I don't see him getting a TV. He just pawn it. If I'm being honest.
and just I could tell you it's untelling what went through what was donated through a Cash App.
I guarantee you. Oh, I mean, we already know it went to Hugs, but he was all. He was also still getting paid from QSI while incarcerated. Yep.
And Kim asks where the grandparents were.
The
That's a good question.
Well, the grandfather was on Bell County Marketplace selling a kid's was it a dollhouse or like a little, it was a dollhouse of some sort.
Like a little Fisher Price toy of some sort, like that a toddler would play with.
I actually think I have that one too.
And I mean, it's it has bothered me a lot. Like, I've been on it nonstop. Elizabeth has been on it nonstop. There's several my admins and mods that have been on it nonstop, and they all have families. They all have things to attend to. They work. They go to school full time. They're always busy, but they make time, and I could not be more grateful for them. I wouldn't be where I am without them and without the members. The members have stuck through us and actually realizes that we care, that we're not out here for profit, that we're not out here for popularity, we're not out here for attention, we're out here for Elena. And regardless of what anyone says, anyone, we're not going to stop.
No
Our goal is
offense
just to
taken,
make
Eddie.
sure the awareness stays up.
But
Yes. And I said no offense taken, Eddie, because my channel is not monetized. A lot of people that is in here will tell you I won't let them drop a Cash App. Nothing like that. This is not about that. I want this baby to get get the attention she deserves. I highly
um
not,
um
not
um Nightbot, she
oh
has seeing.
that's yeah, uh that's a robot. That's just a bot. It's
Oh,
going off of putting the all caps in there. It just picked up on it. That's not a person. But I encourage all creators to talk about this case, because the more attention this kid gets, um, the better.
mhm.
Yes,
I mean, if we can
absolutely.
keep her name out there, they can't ignore her name.
And
If
Yeah.
Summer
that's
Wells's
why
case has not proved anything, it has proved that.
I made the TikTok. I mean, I didn't know what else to name it. I mean, it's called Elena's Army. I've seen it posted on here, which I'm very thankful for. Thank you to your mods, um, and admins. But it's just, oh God, I don't know. It's just hard to explain that this right here is hard. I'm not a parent. I'm not a parent, but this has broke my heart. And I've seen one person, One person tried to take down 2 groups for Elena. I made my TikTok for her. 2 of the
Yeah.
videos got reported, got taken down for sexuality, and I had nothing on there of them. Nothing that would be against community guidelines. They were doing it out of spot.
But yet they will keep this up. Let me share
Yes.
something with you all. They will keep this up, though, which is, it makes me sick. Those of you, that have listened this far, this right here is a real catcher. Let me see here. Okay. I have to do it like this. Bear with me. I'm slow
No,
as
you're
smoke.
okay. You are fine.
Just a second. All righty. Come on back here.
I thought I was on TikTok.
That was the mom with Elena.
Oh.
That's her TikTok. It's still up.
Yes, all her TikToks,
And
all her everything is still up.
Yeah, nothing's been shut down. Facebook, TikTok, all of her social media is just as it was.
And you know what I would love to do more than anything? And I mean, some people will probably be like, why are they walking down Cumberland Avenue with Elena's poster, her banner? I want to get a group of people. I don't care if it's 5 people. I don't care if it's 2, 3, 4. I want them to see her face in both directions. That way they can see her face and be like, you know, she needs justice.
I looked to see if there was a billboard that's sponsored that you can do with Blimp, and there isn't one in Middlesboro because I was going to have her face put on one.
Can she have visitors? I don't know.
We wonder if it's maybe a very small list because the rumors have been that she's had threats and while she's been in jail, there's been a lot of threats. So I almost wonder if they've limited unapproved or anybody from the that's not screened coming in, not knowing. I don't know. Do you know, Whitney? Was she put in a like a? I mean, I know she was in the turtle suit for a while, but is she stay in a special area? Did we ever hear of that because they were worried of her hurting herself?
So, okay, going back to me being a corrections officer, anyone with that serious of a case, they'll be in a female max. So they'll be in a female pod with other females who have done crimes such as like murder or abuse to a child. But she will also be in solitary. So she will be by herself.
Okay.
She won't be in a turtle suit anymore unless she, threatens self-harm.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure unless they've changed it, it's 23-1. So she's in her cell 23 hours and out 1 hour a day.
The biggest thing I remember asking myself when I saw this case is her being arrested. Why is she not talking? I mean,
it's $1 million question.
I don't know if she's allowed visitors, but I know she's requested to see Carol, and Carol won't do it right now. What? Why would she want to see Carol? Which, I mean, nope, I can't say it because it would give it away. Not doing it.
I will be going over. I tried to redact the recording, you all. But there is words used in there that I really didn't want to have on the channel, and I'm afraid one might slip through
Is it
because I
something I
was
said?
trying. Yeah,
Frig.
of Trey and one of the alleged suspects. But I will go over that on this channel. But my thing is this. I came to the visual. I can't pronounce it good. I'm country as cornbread. But the one thing that hit in my mind was out here on these streets, there's people walking free.
Yep.
Now,
Yes.
there's been carnivals, fairs, whatever y'all want to call it, popping up everywhere. So you can about guarantee one of them was probably walking around in this crowd where there's so many kids that's just being let run free. I mean, I seen a lot of it this past week. You know, kids checking back in with their parents, but it don't take long for your kids to get gone or get harmed. And there is people out here just walking amongst them. Somebody did this to this youngin'. And then there's a photo
Yeah.
of the dad,
Oh,
and it looks like he's smiling.
he is.
Now,
And
I won't put that photo on here because of the condition that kid is in, but it is unalived, and he's holding her, and he's got a smirk on his face.
who does that? Who smirks while holding?
Let me tell you, I give benefit people that are on my channel a lot. Put a 1 in chat. I will give people more credit than they are due. But let me tell you something. I have buried 2 kids.
I'm
And
sorry.
there is nothing that would have put a smirk on my face. Nothing.
No, I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
So
I'm
I'm sorry, Trey. I don't understand that. I don't understand how you can be holding her and smirking.
You know, Crystal, I have a question. You know,
Yeah.
since you have, lost children, that brings up a good question for Liz and I, actually, that we can use on this page. We'll be discreet about it. And I'll probably let Liz finish the rest of it. But say, okay, you came into our group, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, you were welcomed into our group, and you didn't you weren't persistent, you weren't demanding. Okay, so Liz, finish that from there without me sounding like an idiot.
So are you trying to mention that what point are you trying to get? Are you trying to say we had a situation where someone came and became acquainted with things, and they had suffered a horrific loss of
Yes.
their own child, and have just I guess has been very
See, there's no word. There's
there's
no
no
other word.
word for the behavior, but it's very perplexing, almost as if I've suffered something that's been bad, and I'm entitled to be able to do, whatever I want whenever I want, type of thing, I think is what you're kind of trying to get at. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
And I've never experienced that myself with people I know that have gone through that kind of loss. And it's been a struggle on how to be compassionate and be fair as well, because it's caused a lot of back and forth. It's taken away from the cause, which is, the cause is really keeping, her Elena's name out there and her photo above the fold, making sure that people are aware of the case. And we've done a lot of different little things, like on our page. We have members from all over the world. We have people from Canada, Australia, England, and
Ireland.
we know that not everybody can be local to do things. So we try to do other little things to get everybody across the US, aware. We've tried to do, blue ribbons on the mailbox or your trees. We just recently did a candlelight vigil. We've got a poll up now, so I think one of the things we'll try to do is, chalking the sidewalk for Elena. Some people are going to put some tags on their candy bags for Halloween. We realize not everybody can be boots on the ground right in Middlesbrough, but everybody can do something from wherever they're sitting today, tonight, wherever they're sitting while they're listening, to your channel, your broadcast, just to do something small and positive, and not let her case, go dusty while DNA is waiting, and make sure her name still stays out there.
But yes. And what I was getting at is that she wouldn't be vindictive about it.
I don't know where she's coming from. I think that you would probably agree with me. This is the first time you even heard about my kids passing away.
And you've not been
Mhm.
vindictive or anything.
No.
You've not been ill. You've not said anything bad about our group. And that speaks volumes because
When
of what we're dealing with right now.
when you look at these groups, and I did this, I looked at a lot of groups. Matter of fact, when it first happened, I was in a group with one of the grandparents. This is where I'm coming from. I can't speak for anybody else. But when I see a lot of garbage, a lot of, people that don't want to really respect the baby, I normally check out of those groups because it's about the kid. Yes, we've all been through things. We've all went through things. Everybody can think of a time in their life that nearly struck them to their core. But
Yeah.
this is about this baby. It's about what happened to her, and that is what it is important. I've never mentioned my kids in that group because that group is not about my kids.
Exactly.
My kids passed away in a house fire.
Oh, I'm
It
so
wasn't from a
sorry.
situation like this. But to me, not only would I be, and this is just me, not only would I be disgracing my boys, but that would be taken away from this kid. And to
Yep.
me, that in itself is wrong.
I'm so sorry about your loss. I am.
I
I'm
mean,
so sorry.
what happened to this kid is unimaginable. My babies were loved. Um, my life revolved around them. But what happened to Elena is unimaginable. Just to think that there's moms in this
Imagine.
world that can let their kid be harmed. I don't get it.
But there
I'm a
is ill
foster
intent
mom.
people that
I
will
mean,
do anything to
I
shut
see
down a
this
page.
junk,
Like we had to pause our group chat because of everyone flooding in there with nonsense that wasn't factual.
and see
And
that takes away from
it's
the case.
crazy because they'll see you succeeding and they'll see you actually doing something good and they want to knock you down.
And Whitney can probably tell
They'd
you
rather the
this.
spotlight be on them.
There is a lot that I could smack on this screen. But when I read through a lot of it, some of it is, majority of it is hearsay. Um,
Hello.
We need to be careful too, because we don't want to do nothing to harm this kid's case, but we do want to keep her name out there. I could put stuff, if I wanted clicks and views, I could put stuff on that screen right now that would make your hair on your arm stand
There
up.
it goes.
But it's
I
not doing
don't know
justice
what you
for
just
Elena.
said.
Oh, Booney Wi-Fi kick in.
Swear to God, I hate Vive internet.
But I mean, there is a way that we can keep her name out there and give her the due respect that she deserves.
Absolutely. And just like, your mod there, made a suggestion that they make, the wax melts and different things that they sell, and she asked, can she put the Facebook and TikTok on the flyers and hand out? And absolutely yes. Any
Yes, ma'am.
place that you could do something like that to share and boost, the group and her name and her story. That's what we're really trying to do, with our group, is really just try to say, you know, please don't forget her. She suffered in her short life more than anyone could imagine. And, she doesn't, in now that she's left this world, she doesn't, deserve also to be forgotten about.
No.
Exactly.
And
And
anyone from this chat and stuff, if you are going to our page, please make sure that you respond to the rules. We have had several, not from this, not from this channel, but just in general. They haven't answered questions or the rules, and that's part of it, is you have to answer the rules. So I encourage everyone to come over to us, but I would like for you all to answer the rules, please and thank you.
there is a lot of drama that has been tried to be started in this case. So, I
Oh
mean, that's a
God.
big reason of answering new rules too. I mean, that way people know you're coming into a group for the right reasons.
Yes.
Yes,
Just a second.
absolutely. And we don't want to, decline anybody that wants to be part of
Mm-mm.
working together to advocate for, her case, in that way. But we unfortunately had such a barrage a couple weeks ago, where before we would just say, oh, if you didn't answer the questions or agree to the rules, we would just approve you anyway. But we ended up having a few things happen that caused more chaos, and all that chaos just takes away from the message. And the good that we're trying to do. We don't profess to be, we try to be right down the middle, and we don't take, mom's side over dad's side over mom. We try to just call it the way it is, and if there's good there, we'll say there's good. If there's bad there, we'll say there's good, and there's information to support that. We really are just about, how can we make sure that, while people start to lose interest because it's not in the news that often, and obviously there's, since this has happened, we've seen the news recently, there's a lot going on overseas, and horrific, wars and things happening, and it's very easy for her story to keep pushing farther and farther down. And we just, try to, in some small way, come up with something, every month. We had a member of our group that made and gave away, I cannot tell you how many vehicle decals,
Yeah.
that had justice for Elena on the back of them, out of the goodness of her heart and her time and her money. And she was even mailing them to people. And, just things like that to try to, to try to keep going. And we try to come up with just these little things to, get that message out.
Speaking of things people can do, this is the channel Bag Lady. If one of my mods don't care to drop it in the chat, I want to share this. Just a second. Because she made a video a while back for Elena, and I think this is it. Ain't it? Just a second. I thought that was it. But it is absolutely beautiful. I'm looking for it. Is there Bag _ lady? Go ahead, ladies. Just a second. I'll find it.
Well, honestly, I was probably I'm trying not to fall asleep. I'm exhausted. I appreciate you having me on here, and I appreciate meeting. Wait, I will help you out. I appreciate meeting everybody. We can try to make this like a weekly thing. I know on our page, we're gonna try to start going live more often, whether it's just to talk, discuss, come up with ideas, anything, just to keep everybody engaged in Elena's name. I think we have pretty much all of October already planned out. People have already planned stuff. So I think we're leaning more towards November and December. Obviously, we're not going to march if it's like 18 feet of snow or anything like that. But we've came up with some painting rocks. So obviously, you won't be able to spell the entire name. You can put JFE. You can just put E. You can decorate it anywhere, any way you want to. And I can create an Elena's rock page, or some of my admins can. Or Liz can create a album, if that would be easier for you all.
We can come up with, all sorts. Yeah, we can do that and come up with all sorts of things to do. Also, it's a nice activity that people can get kids and grandkids involved in. I know somebody had suggested for the month of December that what we plan for December is decorating your own ornament and putting it on your tree for Elena. So, lots of great suggestions, and a lot of those come from, members that just have a lot of creativity, more than I do someday, to do things. So, all of us together can work and make a difference. I really believe that.
Me too. But I will talk to you ladies later. Again, thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, I'm gonna run off and catch up with my kids. It's getting a little. I've got to do a little bit of the mom stuff for the end of the evening, but I wanted to hop on and just to have a minute to chat with you. And I can't thank you enough for having us on.
Yes.
It's so lovely to always hear from you.
And always checking on us. We appreciate it. And we send you everything that we get.
Yeah.
So we try to keep you in the loop just as much.
Well, I sure do appreciate both of you coming on here. I've spoke about Elena, but sometimes I think that, people that have been doing things, you get used to one person speaking about Elena, but then when other people, or any case for that matter, then people that's close to it come in and talk, and it really helps. Sassy has got a great channel. She said that she would help spread the word about Elena.
Oh, wonderful.
And I encourage all creators, please get this baby's name out there.
Thank you.
And because she deserves justice, and you all, we have to be this kid's voice.
Yes.
You see just a little bit of what the kid went through, but that don't touch the tip of it. And I couldn't ask you to do, Jens, to do anything. You don't have to share my channel, but share this kid's name.
No, your channel needs to be shared too. You're amazing. You really
You're
are.
doing great work.
Thank you, Whitney.
You've busted your ass
And
or
thank you,
tail
Liz. Thank you
about
for being
cuss.
here too.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I didn't
Y'all,
want to
I
say
didn't put no makeup on, so I wasn't showing my face. And sometimes it's
no.
hard to tell when somebody's talking.
Listen, I literally came from Zaxby's. Oh well, I don't care. There's so many Zaxby's, nobody knows my location. But literally got from Zaxby's, came home, changed, and got on here. So I'm killed, but I really do appreciate you having me on here, and I appreciate everybody's time. And hopefully, I will hear from you all later.
Yeah, we'll look
One
forward to
thing,
working with you
no,
guys.
there's some, well, Whitney,
Huh?
one thing before you go, there's something that has been on my mind. We can talk about it, after this live or whenever this week. I would like to make out some flyers and kind of maybe with, one of these events, don't have to be the next one, but pass them out to bring awareness to child abuse, how to report child abuse. Because this is unreal, you all. This youngin',
Bless you.
this
Sorry.
happened over a period of time.
It didn't happen more than once. Oh my god, it happened more than once.
Yes.
It's went on. I want to say about a month and a half, for sure a month. Um, there are so many details that if I tried to give every single detail without being triggering, we'd be here for hours.
Yes.
If you go to that TikTok, I have a picture up of her. You will see a discoloration on her cheek. So that's just one of the few pictures. I've got to be careful what I post on there. So.
And I mean, I completely understand that. Like I said, you all, if I wanted just to get clicks and views, there was some stuff that I could post on, slapped on the screen. Everybody would be coming to this video, but that is not doing this kid justice. If you can imagine it, then most likely it happened to this baby. And
yep.
it's so undeserving, so unfair, and even worse, only the mom has been charged.
Yes.
And I don't even want to call her mom, y'all. That is not a mom.
No.
But I mean, the birth giver of this child is the only one that has been charged. There is a petition that the mods are leaving in the chat. It is to make stricter punishments on child abuse. Please consider go sign the petition. They're also dropping the links for the TikTok and the Facebook group.
Can I? So, flies on coleslaw. There's an E. It's not an A after the L. I didn't know if you knew that or not. I didn't know. It's ELA. It's ELE. Like on here, it's ELA, but but it's an E. But it's still fun. I still greatly appreciate her. I was just clarifying it.
Oh, that's okay. It's a tough game. It's a tough one. I've seen it.
Yes, it is.
It's a tough one, and you've got a wonderful team there helping you, Crystal.
She does. She absolutely. And flies on coleslaw. I promise, I was not trying to be rude about that at all.
No.
I promise you, I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
just saw it.
yes, she's a good mod. She is. And
She's
Sassy,
been on it.
you can email me and every minute little detail that I can help you with. I'll be glad to. Um,
I hope I
us
didn't make you mad by correcting
Oh
her.
no, you ain't made her mad. Flies
I
got tough skin.
I just I didn't. Now I feel bad. I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
sometimes when stuff is typed, we don't know, So no. Let me see.
It happens. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
See, she
fine.
says you didn't.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to make you mad either. So I'm just
Oh
trying
no,
to.
you ain't. No. Um. But what I was going to say is that's something that I would like to do. Is my ADD was kicking in for a minute there. I'd like to get some flyers or pamphlets printed off and
Mhm.
pass them out to bring awareness.
That's a great idea.
It
That's really a
is.
great idea. How to report and signs and all sorts of things. That would be really great for people to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a foster mom, you all. I've seen a lot of things, but now, how in the world this could happen to a 17-month-old baby? I don't understand it.
Because
I
the
don't.
parents were careless. What was that?
But it takes no clue. Liz, are you okay?
Liz,
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm good.
something just crashed and I didn't know what it
It
was.
sounded like it. Yes, it did.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine and
Oh,
dandy.
whew.
me,
Well, we're
me
all
either,
alive.
Stacy.
My brain malfunctioning. No, my brain is malfunctioning now. Like mine is just like it's jello. That's how tired I am.
but I sure do
Oh,
appreciate you all coming on here
we
Thank
and
appreciate
you
you.
again.
And
Thank you again.
yes, and thank to your mods. Again, flies on coleslaw. I'm sorry. I really do still feel bad. And that's gonna sit with me for a while.
Oh,
But I promise I
and
didn't
thank
mean
you,
it.
Crystal. And let's hope we can all get together and do this again soon.
Yes.
yes.
Yes, yes, yes. I will talk to you lovely ladies later.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all. Okay, you all. Can you hear me? Okay, but in case you was coming in at the end, Elena Henry was 17-month-old. She was beaten. She was AR'd. It is believed to be by more than one person. Um, she was life flighted from Middlesboro ARH hospital where her egg donor had took her to the hospital after she was made to. Life flighted to Tennessee Children's Hospital, pronounced brain dead, and on July the 30th, she succumbed to her injuries. To this date, the only person that has been charged has been the bio mom. The state of Kentucky, Middlesbrough Police, have collected DNA from what I'm gathering, several people. And they are saying, and I do want to share this before I get off, before I end this live, the update. But they are saying that it could take over a year to get the DNA back. And while that is happening, we have got these horrible people still walking the streets. And I don't understand. I mean, for all intents purposes, some of them have been charged with little minor crimes, but this is the update on it. As of September the 20th, 2023, Baby Elena's case update. This is from the Middlesboro Police Department. Baby Elena's case update. According to the Middlesboro Police Department, justice in the Baby Elena case hinges on DNA analysis, an often lengthy process, according to Lieutenant Barry Cohen. Middlesboro Police Department frequently utilizes DNA evidence during investigation, and analysis typically take about a year to complete. Unfortunately, due to the complexity of this case and the number of items submitted, the time frame may exceed the general public's expectations. We understand the public's frustration, but the results of the DNA testing are pertinent to the investigation and prosecution of this case. And I understand that, because they haven't got people coming forward saying, I was in this trap house, I see what happened. You ain't got that in Middlesboro. But we have been reassured by the forensics lab that this case is being expedited and has taken priority over lesser cases. Cohen says that the Middlesboro police are optimistic that all involved will be arrested. We want justice for baby Elena, and we do not want to jeopardize the case with a premature arrest. We thank the public for their continued support and patience in this matter, says Cohen. But that was the last update that we were gave. And this is in my backyard. This case hit real close to my heart, because like so many of you, I fell in love with Summer too. Summer changed my life. She's the reason I got into foster care. And then when I heard about this happening to this baby in my own backyard, I couldn't think, but if somebody would have called, if somebody would have just went in there and reported that baby. Now, there is rumors that it was reported. We don't know that for a fact. But maybe the state could have got her. And yes, it crossed my mind. Maybe she would have ended up here and she'd be safe. But that didn't happen with this baby. This baby ultimately paid the price for its mom's drugs. I'm sorry, but I don't like to talk about people that haven't been charged. You all know how I am. But everything that I've seen in this case, it turns my stomach. Yes, Sassy, see something, say something. These kids shouldn't have to pay that kind of price. They shouldn't have to go through that kind of torment. We're supposed to protect our children, and to know that a mother had to be forced to take her kid to the hospital and its life hanging in a balance, well, that just turns my stomach. To see that other people, when I was looking through loads of screenshots and text messages, people saying that they knew what kind of place that was, knew what kind of people hung out there. The same thing come back to my mind that come back when I heard people say they saw Summer abused. Well, why didn't you say anything? The difference is we don't technically have this evidence in her case. Everything that has been accused of happening this summer happened to this child. And nobody's arrested. That was July the 30th. They're still walking the streets. And like I said, when I went to the vigil, that's what I was thinking. Somewhere on the street are the people that hurt this baby. I think that needs to change. Just a second, my dog's all up in arms. But I think that needs to change. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's heartbreaking. I appreciate Whitney and Elizabeth coming on here to talk about her case, because when you are just a second, when you're going through the things that you're sent, myself, I like to look at what is a fact and what is people spreading gossip. And then you've got these ladies that they every month take time out of their day and do something for a kid they didn't know. I think that's pretty awesome. You don't see many of the family being her voice. I've not seen much of it. And like I told them, I went into a lot of groups. I ain't seen people speaking out for her like these ladies are. Yes, that is absolutely the truth, Sassy. There's nothing in Summer's case, and what's out there is a big old mess of rumors. The fact that there is actually evidence in ELENA'S case and those monsters are free is outrageous. Yes, I completely agree. And, I mean, some of the things that people try to put on Summer, it's disgusting. But this stuff happened to this kid. One of two things they're saying happened. Either the mom was bringing the kid there, trading her for drugs, or she was passed out on meth when this happened to her kid. And to think that it could take a year, that they could be on these streets for a year, infuriates me. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. And these monsters are in my area. You all, I thank you for being with me. Thank you for taking the time and just trying to get an understanding and listening to what's going on. You will see a lot of rumors in this case. I like to stick with what I can prove. I do personally have an opinion that the dad knew what this kid was around, because everything that I see says he knew. There is a picture of him with the mom, and there's a syringe in her hand. I showed that in this live. She sent a text message saying their baby had been AR'd and mentioned somebody's name. Why ain't that been looked into closely? And you all, that isn't the touch of the iceberg of what I've saw. Now, this, I do want to show this. And I'll tell you why I want to show it. Because it kind of gives you, an idea of what they're saying, why they're not talking. I'm going to share this with y'all. I've went backwards and forwards in my mind about sharing it, but I'm going to share it because this is their mentality. I said "ard" her or kept it a secret. Is that what you would have done if that was your I'm sorry, this breaks my heart. If that was you in a situation knowing a baby was being ard and beat and not turn it in because you were scared of being killed or harmed. Look at this, what this person says. When you're in fear for your life, you'll do what you have to do. Yes, it was very traumatizing. I wouldn't have touched her, but I would have pretended not to see it happening. Just a second. Not to see it happening to keep my life. That is the mentality of the people that was in that home right here. I wouldn't have touched her, but I would have pretended not to see it happening to keep my life. Tell me, how sick do you have to be? Now tell me if you want this person walking around, because they are. The person is walking around. They're leaving comments like that on Facebook. I would too. Now hold your breath. That's one of the suspects. So this case is unlike what we see a lot of. A lot of times you got this and telling on that one and a whole lot of hearsay. This case is its own DNA. That's what they got to go by, because you ain't got people that were in a trap house that are brave enough to stand up and say, I was there and this happened. They ain't coming forward with that. And I'm going to tell you, if somebody tried to harm my kid, you all would be doing a case over me, because I'd have done lost it. But my life for a child, no question about it. That child would be safe. I'd take my last breath just so any child could have another. Never would I turn my cheek. See, and that's me. That's how I feel about it. We're supposed to protect these kids, but then you've got these people, and that message is not from somebody saying, well, if, that lives far off. No. Nope, that name's been mentioned. That name's been mentioned as a suspect. Clearly standing there saying, well, I wouldn't touch her, but I pretend like I didn't see anything. Well, you're as guilty. You are just as guilty. And I'm sorry, but you ain't no man. No man I know would do that. Not a real man. It's sick. 17 months old. That's not 2 years old, you all. Oh, Renee, I'll be praying for your grandson. But if you don't care, share her name. Tell her story. Be her voice. This baby needs us. there's facts in this case that will turn your stomach. She needs somebody to be her voice. Again, thechange.org. That's the link. There is a petition for harsher punishment for child abusers. And people, to get rid of this, that's where we got to get. We've got to get harsher laws. Smacking them on the hand ain't working. We need harsher laws. I would personally love to see if somebody had ever harmed a kid, they couldn't have another one. I mean, but a Class C child abuse is 5 years. I looked it up last night. 5 years. That's unacceptable. $5 years just for harming a kid. You need life. Yeah, we do need harsher laws on people that see something and don't do a darn thing. That is absolutely correct. But you all, I'm going to get off here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this kid's case. And if you don't care, share it out. Because if we ain't her voice, who's going to be? So far, it's been the kindness of strangers. Remember, it takes 0 effort to be a good human being. I'm going to pray because that's how I like to end my lives, no matter what I'm talking about. I do believe that no matter what happens here on earth, everybody one day will stand and answer for what they have done. That's my belief. That's how I feel. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for giving us another day. Lord, we ask you to be in the midst of this DNA evidence and just make sure that everything is expedited, Lord, in your time. Dear Lord, let the people that know about this come forward and tell what they know. Dear Lord, we ask you if there's any that's in the chat or watching on replay, Lord, that don't know you, we pray that you deal with them before it's ever too late. Thank you, Lord, for everything that you've done for me. In Jesus' loving name I pray. Amen. You all, I love you. Like I said, it takes 0 effort to be a good human being.